How to lose weight as a 30-year-old busy mum weighing 67 kilograms, 160 centimeters tall is a question that somebody asked me on my TikTok. But before I jump into that, give me 20 seconds of your time. Please subscribe to my channel because I'll be uploading more videos like this. If you want me to do an example on you, comment down below your age, your weight, height, gender, and your weekly activity level, and I'll do a plan just like this for you that you can follow and achieve weight loss easily. Okay. Also, like this video if you find it valuable, and don't forget to go click in the description box and download all the guides that I've included in this video and subscribe to my newsletter. Okay, now on to the video. So let me read this comment for you. So this reads, 30-year-old woman, 160 centimeters, 67 kilograms, moderately active, want to lose weight and become lean, but I'm confused. Please help. Okay. So then she goes on to say, I go to the gym 4 times a week and do full body compound and functional training for at least an hour and do Pilates twice a week. I walk at least 8 to 10K steps a day also. Thank you very much. Okay. I've got a 3-year-old at home and I work part-time. I manage my training. I manage by training early on in the day, 5 a.m. and I spend the rest of my days either with my toddler or trying to be active at work when I can, going for walks in my lunch break. And yes, I'm stressed because I'm currently at a phase where I'm eating more whole foods and trying to eat better. But I'm gaining weight and muscle after a long time. I used to be in a very, very big calorie deficit for a very long time. So I'm trying to get my body out of that cycle. Thank you for being so helpful. Right, so there's a lot of information in there which is going to be useful for this, okay? Because what we don't want to do, like she said, right, she's already been in a huge calorie deficit before, so now she's trying to build up her metabolism, okay? Build her metabolism back up, and that's very important. So certainly what we don't want to do is put you on another deficit. So what we need to do is obviously figure out, okay, how many calories do you need to be eating to be able to build muscle? And obviously to be able to build muscle at the most basic level, you need to be at maintenance at least, okay? Maintenance, because you are quite new to strength training, and also at maintenance, especially if you want to lose fat, body recomposition at maintenance is still possible, very possible for someone who's quite new to exercise, okay? Especially strength training, because you'll see a lot of gains from just following a proper plan. So your BMR is 1,451 calories, then you are moderately active, which is true because you do keep quite active. So your maintenance calories are between 2,180 and 2,200 calories, okay? So just to quickly go to your weight and your height, this body recomposition phase is going to be very important. So we want it to last between 8 to 12 weeks. And then what you want to do after that is drop your calories just a little bit under that. So go down to 1,800 calories, okay? So this is going forward after you've done this 8 to 12 week phase, okay? So in this phase, let's talk about this phase and then I'll talk to you about what you want to do afterwards, all right? So what we need to do in terms of your macros, I haven't done your macros yet, so we need to calculate that. I will put you on protein, which with most ladies around your height who want to build muscle, the best protein range is between 120, let's keep it to 130 grams, because, you know, it will get a bit crazy with 140, but this is very achievable, okay? Also, you can buy a protein powder and just have a shake after gym, okay? That's going to help you recover, or have it before you go to bed, okay? Instead of snacking on something unwanted. Right, so now I just need to go ahead and figure out the other 2 macros. So I'm going to stick you on 70 grams of fat, okay? So that's going to give us, I just need to calculate, let's aim for the higher end of protein. So 130 times 4, 520, okay, 70 times 9, 6 plus 520, 150, so 2 minus 150. and that divided by 4. So we're going to have 260 grams of carbs, okay, for you. That is a very reasonable plan. 260 grams of carbs, 70 grams of fat, 120 to 130 grams of protein. You can play around with these a little bit. If on some days you feel more hungry, you can maybe have more carbs, okay, less fat, but the fat is truly what's going to keep you full for longer, especially if you aim for things like salmon and slightly more fatty cuts of meat, okay? And you can afford to eat slightly fattier meat because you have all these calories, right? But there's also a way to do it in a smart way and also listening to your body. I know this might sound crazy because people just want a simple plan to follow, but you have to understand that as much as you can stick to a plan for a while, you also need to be learning how your body works, okay? Because certain days you might not be as hungry as on another day, for example. So then we need to figure out a way. This is, for the most part, intuitive eating, okay? And intuitive eating is a very good skill to have as a human being, as a woman who obviously has hormonal changes and she has a cycle, okay? But in the beginning, when you're starting out, follow a plan. You can, track everything to the T. You can track your macros with MyFitnessPal. You can take pictures. If you're struggling with using MyFitnessPal, I will be making a video on that. So stay tuned. Let me know if there's anything specific in terms of MyFitnessPal that you would want me to talk about. But once you learn tracking, it becomes super easy. And for the most part, you'll be able to do it intuitively without having to log everything all the time, okay? It's just about doing it for the first 2 to 3 weeks. And then it becomes easier and you can roughly, figure out, okay, I can eat this much of this. Hold on. Right. So now on to the rest of the program. You're going to be following this exact structure. So let me just recap: 2,200 calories, 120 to 130 grams of protein, 70 grams of fat, 260 grams of carbs. Okay, that's your diet. And like I said, please track this in the beginning. Now, you are a very active person to start off with already. All right. Basically, there's a couple of things happening here. So you're training 4 times a week, full body compound and functional training for at least an hour. You do Pilates twice a week. Pilates is great, but you are busy. You're a busy mum. Pilates isn't going to help you build muscle. Pilates is a great way to move your body, kind of learn how your body moves, maybe kind of, you're not going to build abs, but it's going to make you feel good. Okay, it's a feel-good way of exercising, but it's not going to help you build muscle because there's not enough resistance for that muscle to grow. So I would reduce the Pilates session to just once a week, okay? It's like a treat, you get to spend some time doing something fun. Since you're a busy mum who's already working part-time, okay? 8 to 10,000 steps a day. Keep that up. 10,000 steps a day, 8 to 10. If you want to stay on the lower end, do 8,000 steps Monday to Friday if you find it hard to fit it around work and your toddler. And then on the weekend, ramp it up to like 12,000 steps, okay? Because you can. Take the pram out, take your kid out, and just walk, okay? And you can do fun things with your child as well. And that will contribute to your step count. And in terms of your training, so you train 4 times a week. I don't know how you feel about training 4 times a week. Obviously, you're a busy mom. I don't know your exact schedule. But if you do feel stressed out, which you did say you are feeling stressed out, but you said you feel stressed out for the most part because of your whole foods diet, which I can understand that. But if you are feeling stressed out, the most important thing is planning. If you don't plan, you plan to fail. Okay, so sometimes it's much better to reduce your training frequency to, let's say, 3 times a week and have one day, take that 1 hour that you used to train and spend that 1 hour planning out your food, prepping your food for the week. Okay, prepping is the most crucial thing. If you're going to build muscle, lose a bit of fat, and you're a busy person, prepping is the most important thing that you can do for yourself, because if you don't prep, you will fail at one point. You will make silly little choices, okay, because you won't have the right foods to eat when you're hungry, when you have a craving, you will fail. And those little failures, they add up, and in the end, you're not going to achieve the result that you want. So I would advise 3 times a week strength training, full body. Check out my detailed guide down below, okay? Foundational movements, functional movements, focus on those. There's a full program on there that you can follow. So follow that, okay, for the next 8 to 12 weeks. And like I said, spend the other hour that you used to train just prepping your food. Okay, let me just go over the rest of these things. So you do lunch, at lunch you do walks. That's great. Just keep up the walks, okay? Because the walking is what's going to get you to burn a bit of that extra fat as well. So you said you're gaining muscle and a little bit of weight because now you're transitioning from a deficit into maintenance. So that's absolutely normal, okay? If you're going to jump, if you were on a really high calorie deficit before, and you jump straight into your maintenance calories, then your body, it's not fat, okay? Your body will just hold on to all the water that it can, okay? A little bit of fat might be gained because your metabolism is not used to that much food, but a lot of it will be water weight, okay? So do not get scared. Continue with the plan for the next 8 to 12 weeks. Make sure you're doing your best with your food, with your training, with your steps, okay? It's the most important thing, sticking to everything consistently, day in, day out, making sure you have a specific plan. I'm going to train Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm going to prep my food on Saturday. I'm going to do my Pilates on Sunday. I'm going to stick to all the dietary things that I said I would stick to, okay? Every single meal I prepped, I'm going to eat it on this exact day, all right? That's the most important thing, because consistency is something that people overlook. They look for a miracle thing, a miracle plan. There is no miracle plan. A miracle plan is one that works for you and your lifestyle, okay? Now, so now on to what's going to happen after the 8 to 12 weeks. I would recommend do this for 12 weeks because with you being in a really high calorie deficit previously, you need a bit more time for your body to start building that muscle, start increasing your metabolism. Give yourself more time, okay? 12 weeks. Stay on your maintenance calories. Do those 3 things I said, okay? So your diet, your steps, and your exercise. And then you said you're trying a whole foods diet and trying to eat better. Listen, you are on maintenance now, which doesn't mean eat crap, right? That doesn't mean increase your calories and eat Nutella and sweet things or crisps. What that means is that let's take 200 calories out of the 2,200 calories that you can eat daily and have those 200 calories to spend, imagine it's like a budget, okay? So spend those 200 calories on something that you truly enjoy. Whether it's 2 digestive biscuits and combine it with, you know, something more nutritious, like maybe some yogurt, okay? Whatever it is, have that. Give yourself that, you know, guilty pleasure that you really enjoy. Do not kind of, you know, say no to everything, because that's the worst thing. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to obviously have a binging episode and you're not going to be able to stick to this long term. So what you want to do is have 200 calories to spend on something that you really enjoy daily. It doesn't have to be the same thing daily, okay? And it doesn't have to be necessarily like a guilty pleasure daily. It can be maybe just one digestive and a protein bar, okay? So whatever that thing is, make sure that you give yourself something that you enjoy, because just eating whole foods, just eating salad leaves, just eating potatoes and meat is very hard to stick to. So this is the key to consistency, making it enjoyable as well. Right, so I think this will be a much less stressful plan for you. Let me know if there's anything I missed out on. Obviously, there's so many nuances when it comes to everybody's life. Everybody is different. And also, like I said, observe your body, okay? Maybe write in your diary how your body feels when you eat a certain way, because some people thrive more on more fat, more carbs. It just depends on the person, okay? So follow this plan, but also work with your body. Don't be afraid to listen to your body. That doesn't mean going off plan and eating chocolate. No. It means recording the things that you're feeling, and how your body is feeling after eating a certain food, okay, how you're performing in the gym. That's what I'm saying, not listening to your feelings. Listening to your body and what it's telling you, okay? Listening to the cues that your body is giving you. Now, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment down below if I missed anything out. Please, 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 if you want me to do an example on you, a video for you, a plan exactly like this for you, comment down below, like I said, your age, your height, your weight, your gender, and your weekly activity levels. So what you do on a weekly basis, how you train, and subscribe to this channel, like this video if you found it useful. Find all the guides down below, and I shall see you on the next one.